Anita and I work in the immigration team at Queen City Law. We get lots of questions from people wanting to know what happens if their visa expires while they're waiting for a new one to be granted. This is where the interim visa comes in. It's designed to bridge the gap between an existing visa and a new visa being granted. An interim visa is a temporary visa which ensures that applicants can legally stay in New Zealand while their new application is being processed. It's valid for up to 6 months or until a decision is made on the new application, whichever of those comes first. If your new visa is approved, the interim visa will cease to be valid at that time. If your visa application is declined or if you withdraw it, you will have 21 days to leave the country. And if 6 months passes without a decision being made on the application, your interim visa will expire. If you're in New Zealand without a visa, this may negatively impact your present and future visa applications. The conditions of an interim visa will usually mirror those of your previous visa. For example, if you hold a work visa that's tied to a specific employer and you're applying for a visa to continue that work, the conditions of your interim visa will be the same, meaning you can legally carry on your employment while on the interim visa. However, if you've applied under a different type or category of visa, the conditions may be different. So if you're going from a student visa to a work visa, or if you're switching from one employer to another, your interim visa will have visitor visa conditions. This means that you'll have to stop working until INZ approves the application and grants you the new work visa. In those situations, it's a good idea to apply early if you want to minimise the amount of time that you'll be without work. An interim visa is usually only applicable to temporary applications, so that's work, student and visit visas. If you've submitted an application for residency, you'll still need to maintain your temporary visa status right up until you're granted residency. However, we note that there's also a skilled migrant category interim visa for people applying for residence under that one particular category. That interim visa has a few differences to what we're talking about today, so be careful to understand which conditions are relevant to you. The good news is that you don't need to apply for an interim visa. So long as you submit a new application before your current visa expires, the interim visa will be granted automatically and will be emailed to you by INZ. You're not guaranteed an interim visa because there are certain situations where they will not be automatically granted. For example, if someone's liable for deportation or if they have any alerts or character warnings associated with them. In those cases, an immigration officer will go through a manual assessment process to determine if the person should be granted an interim visa. Lastly, if you leave New Zealand while you're on an interim visa, that visa will expire and you won't be able to return. The application that you submitted will just continue processing while you're offshore, and only if it gets approved will you be able to return. Interim visas provide peace of mind to those awaiting decisions on their new applications. By understanding the key features and conditions of them, you can ensure a smooth transition and continue your stay in New Zealand without any legal hiccups. Feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions or if you need further assistance with your visa application process.